Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Routledge History of Literature in English, part 71. So let's dive in the world of literature. E.M. Foster's offers a more detailed critique than many of his contemporaries of his social and cultural world of the early part of 20th century and of the values which held the British Empire together. He wrote the novel A Passage to India in 1924. He questions whether the dualities of East and West, the Indian people and the ruling British, can be truly brought together. East is East and West is West, Kipling had written, and never the twain shall meet. In the passage to India, we can see the climactic moment of the trial of Dr. Aziz for allegedly mistreating Adela Quested in the Marabar caves. Her denial of the charge will undermine British control in India through the remainder of the novel. Contrasts are central to Foster's novels. In Where Angels Fear to Tread in 1905 and A Room with a View in 1908, he contrasts refined English gentility and sensuous Italian vitality. In this scene from A Room with a View, Lucy is in the square in Florence hoping for something to happen. Howard's End in 1910 also explores contrasts in relationships. He wrote the novel Morris in 1913 and it was published in 1971, a novel about homosexual love which was only published following the author's death. Now comes Joseph Conrad. He was born as Joseph Theodore Conrad Korzeniowski of Polish parents and did not learn English until his early 20s. He wrote Lord Jim in 1900, which is the story of a young Englishman who panics and deserts his ship. Then comes Nostromo, is often considered to be Conrad's masterpiece. It was published in 1904, the same year as Henry James's The Golden Bowl. The critic F.R. Lewis places Conrad firmly in what he called the great tradition of novelists whose moral affirmations make them stand out as major contributors to literature. He also wrote his most famous novella, Heart of Darkness, in 1899. The fears Conrad expresses find an echo in T.S. Eliot's poetry, especially in his poem The Hollow Man, with the epigraph Mr. Kurt's He Dead, a direct quotation from Conrad's novella. He also wrote works such as The Secret Agent in 1907, Under Western Eyes in 1911 and Victory in 1915. The word modern is again important here. It came into use in the 19th century in the context of art and architecture. Only later did writers begin to use it, like George Meredith's sonnet sequence Modern Love in 1862 and George Moore's novel A Modern Lover in 1883, being significant examples. Now comes Ford Madox Ford. He was a contributor, Des Imagists, a collaborator with Joseph Conrad on the novels The Inheritors in 1901 and Romance in 1903, and a critic, being the founder of the English Review from 1908 to 1910. He became one of the most influential figures in literature during and after the First World War, encouraging new writing, founding the Transatlantic Review and assisting in the spread of new trends. He wrote works such as The Good Soldier in 1915, subtitled The Saddest Story Ever Told, which has been described as the greatest tragedy of sexuality in English prose. Ford also wrote Impressionist Trilogy, Fifth Queen, written between 1907 to 1908, and the tetralogy Parade's End, written between 1924 to 1928, with its hero Tight Jeans. Henry James had constantly commented on his own and others' writing in The Art of Fiction in 1885 and The Art of the Novel in 1893. Artists frequently use their position to discuss, evaluate, and pronounce on the rapidly changing world. We can see it in D.H. Lawrence's essays, then in T.S. Eliot's works, and Virginia Woolf's two volumes of The Common Reader, written in 1925 and 1932. E.M. Foster's Aspects of the Novel in 1927 was immensely influential, and Ford's own overview, The English Novel in 1930, is a complimentary survey concluding with Conrad. Fort's The March of Literature in 1935 is the last of his kind of personal, polemical, critical writing which flourished between the wars. If you have any doubts or query, you can ask me in the comment section below, or you can even message me in the social media IDs that are given below in the description box. And do share the video to all those who wants to be the part of this literary journey. So that's all for this video. Thank you and signing out.